Everybody.
Whew. Cold enough for y'all? Cold enough.
You've been on witch's tit all week.
It's like 14 degrees outside. We had a random snow blizzard today. Not blizzard, but
I know,
right? A random snow. They said it'd be a dusting.
Is that what they said?
I heard that's what they said. I missed that memo, but I did hear it was supposed to do a little snow this morning.
Did it?
But they said dusting.
Did it?
And it turned into something like 3 inches. Did you miss it? Did you not see it outside?
I seen two cars.
You thought that was last? No, it started this morning.
I seen 2 cars almost slide into a ditch.
Definitely did not start until at least after 1. I was up till then.
No, it started before then because I had a doctor's appointment this morning.
No, I meant 1 this morning. After 1 this morning. I don't know what time, but.
Yeah, because when I went to work at 3 o'clock, it was not snowing.
It was not at 3 p.m.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Oh,
yeah.
Ow.
Wow.
Yes.
It's like negative 15 at 3
a.m. Oh, so then it must have started even later than that. Okay.
And when I left at 7:40, it was snowing.
It was snowing. It was definitely snowing when I woke up at 7.
So yeah,
it was late.
This weekend Super Bowl, y'all watch it, bro?
Absolutely.
I won't be watching.
I'm not here for the teams. I'm here for the Rams.
Oh, you like the Rams?
I'm
the Rams?
I'm rooting for the Rams. They're the LA Rams now.
You ain't watch TV like 88.
No, this is why that's funny, because it wasn't until I want to say week 17 that I realized that there's the LA Rams and the LA Chargers. I was like, so it's like I knew the Rams moved to LA, but it still didn't register for whatever reason until that week. I was like,
so I've been out here in these streets dropping wrong knowledge. I'm like,
you still been saying St. Louis?
St. Louis and Atlanta finna get it pop. And the Patriots, not Atlanta.
Well, but they're in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
And
the Patriots finna get it pop.
Speaking of, y'all know the Mercedes-Benz Stadium has sliced the prices of their concession stands. So as opposed to...
Slice.
They cut the prices in half. So as opposed to going to one of the stadiums and the prices being ridiculously high, everything is more economically friendly. I think that's great. Like hot dogs are like legit $2 as opposed to $7.
Are they trying to make money or not? What are they trying to go out of business? It's a Super Bowl.
I don't know if it's
it's the Super Bowl.
I don't know if it was all year or if it just started, but it was definitely brought up that this weekend at least the prices are going to be normal as a thank you to customers. But I think those are their regular prices.
Is that what it is?
I think that's their regular. I don't know. I'm here for it because you get to the stadium and you want you like, dang, I'm hungry.
That close
I want to grab a hot dog. And you don't want to.
Yes.
They close school in Atlanta?
Yes.
Well, I mean, we closed. They closed this week for the code or delayed.
They probably got a dusting. I don't know what to do down there. I mean, I was down there last year and they got a dusting.
It's a little different. They still haven't adjusted to the fact. Yeah, Atlanta still has not adjusted to.
They don't got no snow equipment.
Really cold weather. They're still not.
Why though? There. Like the last 5 years, Atlanta, y'all have absolutely had snow. Like what y'all waiting on?
They're still like things are gonna go back to normal.
No, forget that.
Things are gonna go back.
No, that's.
Well, welcome to the FYO. I'm about to say FYI.
FYI, check out this FYO.
Welcome back.
Fuck Your Opinion Podcast. This is episode 2. We apologize for last week. I'm using a new camera. I'm still getting hang of it. Wrote my book and everything this week, so we good.
See us?
Yes.
How we look?
Had in the wrong mode, but yeah.
Anybody got a headache?
We apologize for the focus issue.
Right.
We're gonna do something for the 100 subscriber. Maybe $100 for the
100 subscribers to our YouTube channel. We running out to Instagram. That's easy.
But click all the links. Follow us on all the platforms. We're on Instagram at Fuck Your Opinion Podcast. That's spelled FCK. Your Opinion Podcast. The YouTube page, the Fuck Your Opinion Podcast. We are email if you want to reach out to us by email.
Facebook page coming. I don't read that.
Facebook page coming. But the FYO podcast at gmail.com. Check out this one. Check out the first episode. We want your feedback. Let us know what's good. Let us know what's bad. Let us know what we can improve. We knew it this, but we wanted to be right.
And let me know if y'all
be
can
good
see
for
these
y'all.
chins.
One more get.
Last week.
One more get on the
chin.
chin.
Nobody said anything. Okay.
All right, so here we go.
So this week's episode, we want to touch on or concentrate. This week's topic is social media.
Right. Everybody has a love-hate relationship with social media. I think even the people that swear that they not on any social media, I think they have a love-hate relationship with it too. Because you can still see what's happening in Twitter.
Yeah, we see you. We see y'all.
And Instagram. Like I don't have a Twitter, but I can still see when somebody.
We know who's tweeting what and what. Yeah.
So, but it's everyone's topic that they love to hate.
So I got a question.
Right out the gate.
Do y'all honestly believe that there's people in today's society that really not on social media?
I know there are because
what age we talking about though? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My mama still got a flip phone, so you know what I'm saying.
So she ain't really chiming in on a regular basis. No. I have a girlfriend who does not have any social media.
I got a friend that does.
She lied. She got a.
She doesn't have any. She does not have any. I don't know why. I don't know.
Is she married?
Well, she's not.
Then she got a dating website.
That's how you know all the old people.
What's up? You know what? I didn't. So
that's social media.
So that is a form of social media.
That's
I don't know if she has
people,
any dating websites.
That's how you know the old people be lying that they really on social media. They call it FaceGram and Instabook. Yeah, you look at the name. You know the name.
I don't know who mama daddy needs to hear this, but bring the phone up when you take your selfie.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh my gosh. All the pictures are from down here.
Right. We don't need to see that. Okay. Now, bring it up.
Lift your arm. Lift it up.
Find
them angles.
Okay?
Find those angles.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about social media and varying facets of it. The good, the bad. How we use it. All that good stuff.
First topic. Are we anti-social in the real world versus online?
As a result of social media. I'm going to start. I'm going to say that I don't think that people are anti-social in the real world, but I do think that social media has changed how we are social in the real world as a result. I think that too many people put too much emphasis on communicating on Facebook or any social media and substitute it as actual direct communication. And it is in a sense, but in my opinion, you can't replace face-to-face conversation or a voice-to-voice conversation.
Are they anti-social?
We do have that.
Are they anti-social just because they can be a more confident person? Like, I feel like I've learned a lot of some people's real personalities. Like, you'll see them and, they are one way in real life.
Some people are introverted in real life.
And then when they get on social media, you're like, oh my gosh, they're really funny, or they're, really extra, or,
So then is it a comfortability thing? Like you're comfortable in a form of anonymity? Like you're obviously not completely anonymous. Or at least at one point I think we were. When social media first started, kind of people, so like in MySpaces.
Some people still anonymous.
Some people still are.
Got 3 pages.
But I feel like in the MySpace era, everybody in the message board era, everybody was really using monikers and fake names and substitutes, and and now and then comes your Facebook and your Twitters. And Twitter, you still kind of pretty much can. Facebook, depending on how they feeling today, you can still use your moniker, or you may have had to go to a real name and they're asking you for your ID and your social security card and your birth certificate.
Yeah, that's in my life.
My brother
to prove your name.
He said that shit was not true. He was like, don't put
well, they definitely requested. I don't know how you can pass it.
I just changed my password.
I'm just trying to type. I ain't trying to.
I was a victim. They hit me up and they were like,
I'm trying to buy
we
drugs.
need you to verify your real name. I said, for all you know, I am in, what's the thing called? Witness protection. What you're not going to do is make me identify myself so that the people can come find. You don't know why I'm using this name.
As soon as they sent that to me, I just changed my password.
But I didn't know that was an option. So I changed my name. That's fine. I had to get creative once again because, I get creative with my names. So yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't think it's antisocial. I'm just call it rude. It's rude.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, a couple incidents, somebody posted online. I hit him up. He don't answer the phone. Nigga, I see you online. What's that?
Now you wait a minute.
I can see you.
Yeah.
We
Crazy.
We were just talking.
Crazy.
Where you at?
And then let me tell you, one of them. This happened to me about a month ago. This just happened to me. When I called him, he sent me somebody send you to the voicemail. But then he hit me up on my Facebook page. Nigga, I'm trying to talk.
So here's the thing. So that's one of those things.
This ain't public info.
That's when you talk about social media being antisocial. People, it's like some of us don't know how to communicate verbally, directly, but we can type out our thoughts.
And I think that's so weird, especially with people like our age group, because we grew up talking on the phone.
We grew up talking on the phone, and now everybody act like they anti-phone. First of all,
right?
Stop lying.
Cut it out.
You've been talking on the phone.
Cut it out.
We was three-waying it and clicking over for the call waiting. Like wasn't nobody business. 100 miles an hour.
Now
on the phone. Mad when your mama pick up the other line. Get off the phone. I need to use the phone.
Exactly.
Now we can't talk on the phone. If it's not important. If think to you, what does that mean? Keep saying. Before you call me, think to yourself, can you send it in a text? First of all, you disrespectful bastard. Answer my phone call, okay? I don't have time to text. I'm driving. Answer the phone.
Well, me and my friends, we still talk. I call them hoes quick. Like, pick up.
Absolutely.
So,
I will say that with my friends, like I can call any of my friends. They will call. I will say that some of them are the type that's like, if they can send it in the text, they will. And sometimes I just be like, no, we're not doing this. What? you gotta bring them back sometimes. But I do think we
at least be consistent. So when I do it, I'm on Facebook too. Like, you can hit me nowhere. But I like know you. I'm knowing you.
If you ain't answering the Facebook, don't answer the phone.
Right.
Answer nothing.
It's true. It's true. It's a lot of relationships being started.
But people do that. Listen, because it be like you send somebody a text message or you call them and they don't respond, but then you go on Facebook and you see them commenting on. Hold up.
Right.
So you ain't seen.
Right.
I know you on your phone. I know you saw.
I would take that very proud. I think I
might take it a little personally.
Yeah, I think I won't let somebody know how rude they were. Like, I know your ass seen me.
I know you seen it.
Or
you can at least answer and say, "Let me hit you back." Yeah. Or at least respond to my text. Give me a minute.
Well, I think social media has given people the impression that they are more important than they really are, and so I always kind of do like the. Okay. I always kind of do the like an eye roll when I just kind of read. I know it's half truth, half comedy when I see people that say that. Oh, I'd much rather text. And first, I look and see if they're physically worthy of saying that.
Physically worthy.
Right. I just feel like
break that down for me.
If you ugly, you shouldn't say stuff like that.
Certain things you can't say if you're physically challenged.
Pick up the phone with your
facially
ugly ass.
challenged.
Like, what are you talking about?
You think you too cute to talk to me?
Right.
You're not. You're not.
So pick it up. Pick up the phone.
So another question I have: Are we really making friends on Facebook or social media period? Like, are those real friends?
So I think that relationships can be started in multiple ways.
It depends on your size of the friend. She brought me into it. I wasn't gonna say that.
I was startled. Now, what was the question?
Okay, wait.
Are we really making real friends online, or
I think so?
is it just to have
it's possible.
a friend to get to your number?
It depends on how you do it. You can absolutely, what's the word? Develop a friendship with someone. Can you do it just through online? Maybe. I'm slightly opposed to that. I think that genuine friendships require face-to-face interactions and conversations. But you definitely can, interact with somebody online enough and that develop into a substantial relationship in real life,
Jessica,
as we say.
What do you think?
And Kia. Hey, man, Sean.
I think you can meet friends off Facebook, but most of it is just social media is for people to look good.
Talking in the background. For people to look good, they looking good.
Yeah, just, they show their best life on social media.
Some people do that.
You know what I'm saying?
That.
And they don't want to
hold
show.
Hold that thought. But we can't make friends.
You can make friends.
I heard that.
Our first guest star that you all can't see.
True friends.
No, not
That's what I'm
really.
saying. Can you build a true relationship?
Not really.
I think it happened. It's not for men.
This
I
ain't
think
no
for women
you
it's
got
possible.
mail.
Let me give an example. I can use myself as an example. So not the current form of social media, but in past social media, it's message boards.
Okay.
Most of my closest friends right now, I met through message boards.
But that's before you can see somebody.
But that's what I'm saying. It was a form of social media.
Yeah,
It was
no, I'm
online.
saying.
So we met through the message board. Like we had our initial contact through the message board, but then through meet and greets or various outings, we developed relationships independent of that media. And I think that the same thing can happen with your Facebooks and your
Absolutely.
Twitters
I've met,
and your Snapchats.
Yeah, I've met a couple.
I think that it's possible. It requires intent.
Yeah.
Like you have to intentionally be interested in meeting a person and getting to know a person and developing that friendship.
Yeah.
But so it can happen.
Yeah.
I think that it can
In
happen.
today's age, though, you think really it's really happening? Like people
I'm
becoming
not
best
saying
friends?
that it is happening like at a rapid pace or anything like that, but I do believe it's possible to happen. I think it's possible. People that if you're interested,
I don't think it's possible.
Because
I'm just not.
I don't think it's happening so
why?
much today.
because everybody.
You don't talk that much to begin with.
Hello.
So,
You don't talk to nobody you don't know.
You don't.
But
Get out of here.
But see,
that's
I talk
like
to people I don't know.
people
I don't
talk
have a
about.
problem.
I think that the people who are against it or
I
sit
got-
on the
for
opposite
example-
side of it are people who have the no new friends mindset.
Look, for example, me, right? I don't have a problem with nobody. I can talk to anybody. We can have a conversation about anything you want to have a conversation about. I have Facebook. I have Instagram.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna meet no friends off Facebook or Instagram. Period. If I'm gonna meet you as a friend, it's gonna be in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't post nothing new on Facebook or Instagram, but here and there, because I think people try to watch you so much on social media. Like, I feel as though
I
people
post
want
my
to
stuff
watch.
in past time.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely like about last night.
And then a lot of people,
About
and a lot of
yesterday.
people post a lot of things on a lot of different topics that throw a lot of people off. So you don't really know what a person's at.
Who they
They'll,
are. Okay.
they'll just share something because it's popular at the moment. So
Okay.
you don't know people's feelings or moods on social media no more. Like you said, you message board, but that's different.
But that's why
before
I
you can
say I
see
think it's about
somebody.
intent.
And people was more genuine back then. Now, people not as genuine as they used to be.
Yeah, I agree with
I don't
that.
know.
Everybody got a agenda or motive.
I won't argue that. I
matter
will
what.
give some truth to that. I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people do have a motive on it.
Everybody.
But I think that. But I do think that you can still, you know what I'm saying. You can connect with somebody in conversation, like based on.
Well, a lot of people do connect.
Like a friend puts a post up. You're having a dialogue with somebody, and you develop an online rapport, if you will.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
3 months later,
Graduate
it's the same.
to-
You find that you have the same, or you're constantly having conversations with this person. Y'all have similar mindsets, or you're able to have a conversation and learn from each other, or whatever it is.
You can
And
find
then it can
like-minded
sometimes
people on
develop.
social media.
I don't think it's
That's
an
true.
everyday occurrence. Like I don't think it's every person that you converse with, you're going to develop a friendship with. But it's definitely possible
You
to.
throw people in
meet
different
people.
categories. I've
Yeah,
met
absolutely.
a few people that I would consider close acquaintances through Facebook or even Instagram. Like we have the same humor, we practice same jokes,
Mhm.
or we
Can you
tag each
borrow
other
money
or
from these
Have
people?
you-
whatever.
If
have
get
you-
a bind,
have
can
you
borrow
met these
money from
people?
I
If
think
you
that
get to a point where you develop, once
I,
you become friends, yes.
Yeah.
Once it's an actual friendship,
Like, can you depend
Yes.
on them?
It depends.
Yes.
Are you
Once
a
it's
person
an
who
actual
asks for money
friendship, yes.
anyway? Are you a person who like to ask for money anyway? So that's a kind of fun.
No, I'm saying,
you can have good friends.
No, I don't like that as money. I'm saying if you're in a bind.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so
Right.
here's the thing.
I have friends. I've been, I'm saying that it's
I know who I can go to.
Like, true story.
I know who I can go to
Yes,
for
you
things.
can
I'm not
if you
gonna-
have a common goal. For example, if you want to stop police brutality, or you want to help people raise money for homeless. Most people can combine and connect easier on social media if
like
they have a common
efforts.
goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
If they don't have a common goal, it's more harder to connect with people now because you don't know what their motive is. At least when you got a common goal, you know they want to be cool with me.
I think that's an individual mental block though. Like if you walk into situations and expect that everyone has an agenda, then yes, you're going to operate from that place. But if you walk into it with with an open mind that they may have an agenda and or they may just be a genuine person, then you'll learn which way to go with that relationship.
I mean, I don't think agendas all the time is a bad thing though, because it
No,
can be a good
absolutely
agenda.
not.
It can be for what both of y'all believe in, so
Right.
it's not really a bad to
But
have
if
an agenda.
but
every
if you're
time.
looking for if you're
Personal
looking for
profit is
if
the
you're open to
problem.
friendship, then that's different than meeting someone for business or work purposes. Like with that's a different thing.
But can you become a friend with somebody off a business deal?
I think you can.
Yeah.
It's an option, absolutely.
Prime example.
It's an option,
So
absolutely.
that's what
No,
I'm
from
saying.
a can of paint. She ran me there.
You gonna be my friend,
Right.
Some people like that.
We're gonna
You
do
never
great
know.
things together.
Right.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Here y'all are.
And I got a lot of true friends that I didn't even think of
Podcasting,
when it came to this podcast. She was like one of the first people.
That's alright.
Damn.
That's
I didn't think she
alright.
was gonna do it though, but she.
I didn't think you were going to do it. So we're
Did he hit you like 6 months ago?
That's cool.
no, more
Y'all
like 6
doing it.
days.
That's the most important. Hey, people who's listening to their podcast, that's the most important thing is to do it. Whatever you believe
Right.
in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe some people say the podcast was never gonna happen, but they doing it
Yeah,
right
a lot of
now.
people did say that. I ain't got
You know
mics
that.
yet, but hey, we rolling.
We rolling. We here.
But that's the FYO podcast. I got IE Red, Shantae,
Zubody.
and Derek in the background. We'll be right back though.
And we're back.
And we're back.
All right. So, are we addicted? Are we addicted to social media?
Yes.
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 Are we addicted? I don't like the word addicted when it comes to social media, although I'm sure there are instances where it applies.
Okay.
However, I think that it has just become a part of our routine
I agree with
in
that.
a way that
You know,
it's-
routine. People getting up first thing they do.
No,
is
we addicted.
yeah.
That's what I mean by
Can you-
routine.
No.
Sir!
You know how you know you addicted? Can you go a day without
Hi.
drinking?
Yes.
That's part of a daily routine if you want to say so.
Okay.
But you cannot live without going on social media.
I can.
Exactly. People wake
And I
up and
have.
do it.
And I have. And I'll acknowledge that I have to occasionally
Check your
force
Instagram.
myself, if you will. No, force myself to not go on. Like I've done little 30-day fasts or 6-day fasts just to maintain my mental
That's how you know you're addicted.
blah.
Yeah.
I don't.
If you gotta do that, you
When
know I
you
think.
It's not that I have to do it. It's that I choose to do it.
Right.
It gets to a point where
No,
sometimes what's coming
you
up.
choose because
It's a,
it's
no,
a
but
problem.
It's, no. Not that it's a problem.
Right.
As a
I
result,
mean, it's,
as a,
Hey.
it's just a detox.
Most people think don't know they have a problem. That's it starts
no.
there.
It's a detox, like she said. Like I don't have, like I'm doing a.
So this is how much I know that the world's addicted. So it's an energy drink out there. I forgot the name of the energy drink. The competition over now. They probably pick that people. They're offering $100,000 if you can go.
That's sugar. That ain't got nothing to do with.
No, it can go a year without social media.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the drink.
No.
Like,
That's definitely what he
Oh, you
said.
can do that. All
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
is
6
say
months,
you
10,000. A year, 100,000.
I saw that.
That's right.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. And I could do it. I mean, like I said, I do. For me, I don't think it.
What's social media?
My taking time off is not an addiction.
I mean,
It's
you
a-
going on YouTube, is that social media
It's a-
too or not?
and
Any-
depending on who you ask.
Their
Yes.
definition of social media was anything, any social media that you could engage with another person.
Any.
They're trying to they're trying to encourage face to face.
And I'm here for that. And that's more the reason why I take my breaks from Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, as opposed to me being addicted, is to make sure that people know that the best way to connect with me is not through my social media.
This how I know.
And remind myself that the best way to
This how I
connect
know
with
we
people
addicted.
in
I know last time
general
y'all been out
is
with.
not through that.
Every club you go to, lounge or whatever, this is all they doing.
This is very true.
This does happen.
You're paying $20,
This
$30 to get in, you on their
does
phone.
happen.
They ain't even talking to people that's in front of
But
them.
again, I just don't like the word addiction as much as it's like I said, part of a routine. It's more of a I was going to say more of a dependency, which I guess is what makes an addiction.
An
Addiction.
addiction.
But I guess because I know that at any moment I cannot. So even like right now, I'm doing for the month of February, I'm going to do a detox. Well, I'm planning to anyway. I just realized.
What's the detox?
It's a food detox.
Okay.
So it's like
You
no
talking about
meat.
social media, that's what I said.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's me
Ain't
choosing.
planning
It's me choosing to do the detox, and it's not because I'm addicted to anything. It's just me choosing to do the detox. So I'm comparing it to me choosing to not be on social media for a period of time.
Is it like you have a purpose for it, or you
Just one of my girlfriends asked me to do it in a way to create healthier food, a healthier relationship with food and habits.
What,
You know what
what
I'm
you
saying?
think's gonna happen at the? It's totally unrelated. What do you think is supposed to happen after the 30 days?
It's supposed to remove the the go-tos, like when you get hungry at an hour, as opposed to going towards fast food, going towards a healthier option or a better option.
Okay, so you
That's
cut
what it's
down
supposed to be.
meat
It's
and
supposed
what
to-
else?
So the detox is no meat, no refined sugar, no dairy, and there's something else. But the dairy thing is where I have an issue. I can get along without meat. I think that I can get along without meat. It's something I wanted to try anyway. Refined sugar is, like no sugar, extra, all that stuff. You have to use like agave or honey for
Okay.
sweeteners. But the dairy thing is where I have an issue. Because I like Alfredo. Like I like pasta in general.
Okay.
So, but I can't have Alfredo.
You just gotta
Cream
go 30
based,
days
which is
without
dairy.
Alfredo?
Listen, I'm gonna call her and be like, oh, I think I might have got it over my head.
Ask me how this ties into social
But all that to
media.
say, because
She gonna
so
put
I
a-
was about to loop it back in.
she
I
gonna
was
put a-
about to
she gonna put a result on
loop
social
it back in
She gonna
and
show
to
up
say
like,
that
y'all got
the
it
detox, that taking a break from it doesn't necessarily mean you're addicted to it, because you said that my taking a break mean I had an addiction, and I was just wanted to clarify.
I think anything you take a break from, there's a problem with it.
I
Because
disagree.
that you need
people
to
take
take a break.
breaks from
I
sex.
disagree. Hello?
It's a problem there.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
they
to
just-
refocus.
It's either with
to
you or your partner. There's a
rebalance,
problem
it's
there.
to whatever. You know what?
It's a
A
problem there.
man. Of course a man would say that. That's what a man says.
But I think we are addicted because
I think so.
I see, man, I got so many people that post, man, matter of fact, I'm going to shout them out. And this is no disrespect.
Shout out.
Bam, 640, you can tag this. Man, this man must
No
post
comment.
100 times a day.
No
And
comment.
I'm not lying.
I think
I
it's
don't
blocked.
know you, sir. So.
I made. He's in a group that I'm in, and I went in the group that was like, so can we disable the live option? Because every time I turned around, somebody was going live. Was he one of the culprits? Yes.
Okay.
Was he the biggest culprit? Yes. But I didn't call names because it was just all too much. Next thing I know, I'm in the group and everybody's talking to him, but I can't see him. Like I'm like, I think I got blocked.
Shout out Bam,
We
640.
were never friends, but I must be blocked. But anyway,
But that man, man, shout out.
this is a side note. Speaking of, I heard he took shots at like several people, like today or in the last day.
Damn, you be doing that?
Apparently he
I
went live
have
and
no
took
idea.
shots at like Black Whale, DJ Rico. That's what I heard.
didn't see
I
that
don't
live.
know what the truth is, but that's
I got followed.
word on
I
the
didn't see
street.
that live. I normally, and guess what? I watch All Man
Okay,
live. I
we'll
didn't see it
get back to
today because I wasn't. I was at.
I think it was maybe
I
yesterday.
watched all his live. He's very entertaining and yeah, he's very entertaining.
I disagree.
And he had some.
You don't think he's
I don't think
entertaining.
he's entertaining.
Sound like she's saying something about you.
But you know, that goes to like the things that we support and the things that we make viral, the things that go all around the internet.
This is true.
But he ain't the only one. I got.
No, he's not.
It's another dude. I can't think of this dude's name. I don't even know him. But this dude, he must got the world record for going making posts. I'm talking about back to back to back. At one point, I thought Facebook was messing up because I kept seeing his post.
Yeah, I know a couple
You
people
thought they deleted
that
all your
don't
friends?
like
He was your only
the
friend?
Twitter set up on the Facebook.
I mean,
post.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Now,
So what's too much?
let me say this too, because I'm a culprit of this. So, I do a lot of my venting through Facebook.
Oh, we've noticed.
You know, because I'm only child. I never had no
Side note, I'm gonna get you to throw some commas in there.
But
and some periods.
I'm in therapy, so my therapist say he encouraged me to get it out. He encouraged me to write it down. Okay. I'm not writing nothing, so that is my writing it down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not keeping a journal.
I support that. That's what's up.
So that's what I do, and it's been plenty of times I didn't type some stuff and just delete it. I felt good that way too. I mean, I might need to start doing more of that.
Wow.
Okay. So.
But yes, I do think that we are addicted. People may not want to believe it, but I think that we.
I mean, like social.
Are. And it. You know that we are when everyone uses it, like down to the schools. You know, your classroom teacher, the church.
It's become the new communication tool. We are no longer, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate its effectiveness. It's effective. You can reach.
Just had to check before I said this, but yeah, social media is $1 billion industry.
Absolutely, you can reach multiple people on one click at one time, and depending on what it is, it'll get shared enough times, or retweeted, or reposted, and you'll reach your intended audience as well as an unintended audience, and as well as an audience you didn't know you wanted to reach, and you reach them too.
And then you get a taste of that popularity, and you want to.
Because all it takes is for one post to go viral.
Yeah, then you want to experience
and
that.
Now.
Then I'm trying to go viral because I'm trying to have Ellen invite me on her show.
We trying to get this podcast viral. So speaking of viral,
because a lot of people are viral for the wrong damn reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about what we're sharing.
I was kidding about the check.
And what we're retweeting and what we're making go viral.
Jesse,
wait, what?
Sir,
I need to back out the frame.
Abort. We are not having that conversation.
Yeah, I can go there till the jury's out, but I got my own opinion about that.
But yeah, so when we go viral, we have gotten into an age when you talk about addiction, it goes into people's addiction to wanting to be seen and wanting to be famous.
Soldier Boy tell.
I just feel like people are so easily entertained over foolishness. Like, I'm gonna tell you one video that really just kind of like grinds my gears every time I see it. I don't see it as much anymore, so I take that back. But the little boy that was over in Southeast with the pink boots on.
The superhero, the gay superhero.
And now they come out of the movie.
And now it's supposed to be a movie with the.
Yeah, what did say?
Because we said gay super. That was what the title was. That was the blog title. Well, listen, the blog title read gay superhero, so that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm just
come for me. I ain't opposed to the LGBTQ XYZ community. All of them. Rock them all up.
But no, that one just really
it was a lot.
It was a lot. And I'm reading the comments. Anytime I see some ratchet foolishness, I'm like, let me go to the comments and see what they talk about. And as usual, black women was yes, bitch, and the motherfucker to death.
Because it's interesting you say that, because there was a conversation where I saw that black women are the biggest supporters of the quote unquote gay black man that is doing his version or his representation or his best image of a black woman.
I agree.
And it's like,
stop.
It's like, what black woman did you pick up these behaviors from? Because as a generality, which I try not to use, we don't really operate that aggressively outside of a situation.
Okay,
so let me ask you this: business-wise, in today's generation, is social media good or bad? Because right now you get so much, you get outdone by the.
It's
trending.
Good.
Trending topic.
We talked about it last week.
It's definitely a positive. It's definitely useful. to push, promote, share, get a brand, a grassroots brand up and moving, to get to the place that they want to get.
How much is too much? Like, I get the same flowers. Oh no, look, I'm not.
So I don't know that there's a.
I got it. I
What'd
read
you
it.
say? Stop putting it on my windshield.
Don't tag me no more. Listen, no, I got the first tag.
Right.
Tag somebody else. No, I definitely think it's I mean, like anything, it can be, people can be overly aggressive and do too much, but I think used positively or used in the appropriate manner to get the information out, to encourage people to. I mean, hell, we doing it with this podcast.
Right.
We
Like and subscribe.
and
All right.
share and retweet,
Subscribe and
repost, and share
Right,
all
all
of that
that.
stuff. So
All
it
that.
definitely is a useful tool, or is a tool that can be used in a positive way, but it definitely also, people are using it in the wrong way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of looking in the wrong way, stop. Look, whatever you do is your business. But all that drug stuff y'all doing on the internet, y'all getting your own self locked up. 6ix9ine prime example.
Oh.
This boy had 10 #1 albums,
Singles.
singles, yeah.
Singles.
10
Oh,
#1
okay.
singles, and he chose to still
Was
do
it? I didn't know it
that.
was 10. Was it 10?
10, 10 for 10.
That's dope.
And he
That's
chose to still
awesome.
do that.
It's unfortunate. Listen, let me say this.
I've never heard of it anyway.
As a
After
disclaimer.
Bobby's murder. Like,
I've
I
heard
thought you would
Fifi.
learn.
I've heard Fifi. I know Fifi.
I know Fifi, but I'm
That's
gonna
all
tell
I
you
got.
how I learned about him. What was that little girl Jada on Instagram where she was dancing with her sisters? Did you see that one? It was like 3 of them. And they were waiting on the music to start, and the wrong music came on, and she just got to dancing, and the other 2 sisters were like, Jada, why would you do that? It was like, it's on my Instagram page, but it was the cutest thing. So that's how I knew about him. But after that, he was just the funny looking kid with the different
With the rainbow
colored
hair.
And that was it.
Speaking of business too, I gotta bring this up. I'm sorry. So now the girls in the surviving R. Kelly are now doing seminars all across the country. And they promoting that on social media.
Slide out the frame, Tay. Slide out the frame. So, here's the thing with that. Like anything.
That's a pro.
Like anything in the era. Because, so, social media.
Trust This is gonna find a way to incorporate R. Kelly in anything. Every week. I gotta leave here. I'm finna go to Birthday. Speaking of Birthday.
He used to be out
R.
there.
Kelly, though.
No, I think with the viral sensation that it became, it was a given that the conversation was going to go to a place where people were going to want to have conversations in a forum and bring people in and allow these people to speak their truths that they've already spoken. But that's just what happens. You have to.
Who's paying for that shit?
There's a market for it. There's a market
Yeah, awesome.
Paying for what?
They charge them.
for the tickets.
Yeah, they charge them tickets to get in.
So you said
For her to
who's
tell
paying
the
for what?
same damn story we just seen on
Listen,
TV.
So they gonna take the
What you gonna
ticket.
say new?
They gonna take the ticket money and pay her because it's going. She got a number to be there.
I just don't understand why somebody want to continue. Not the young lady, but the people that are paying, and like people that are
Continue to hear the story
Like,
over and over again.
Subject yourself
To
to
the
like just
the
that
details or her
right,
version of the
over
details of the
and over
story
and
and
over
absolutely.
again.
Yeah.
Continue
Like,
to hear these lies.
we've gotten it. Whoa. Abort. Abort.
It's all a money grab.
The various opinions
We talked about it
on
earlier.
this show are those of
Everybody
the
got-
individual speaking.
Everybody got an agenda.
I'm telling you. And with that, we'll be right back. We'll be back.
FYO, we're back.
I done got up off the floor, y'all.
FYO. She up. I had to listen. I had to assist her up off the floor. But we back.
Let's get into the effects of social media on this current generation, the pros and cons. Talking about these young folks. Is it good for them? Is it bad for them? I think it's pros and cons, everything, but one of the cons to me is the promotion of violence and drug use.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Future has killed these kids.
There's no discretion with what they do. They are intent on sharing everything.
And where does that come from? So, like, when that happens, is it the kid's fault or is it the parents' fault?
I don't know that fault lies anywhere.
I do.
On individual. Well, I think it's more of a desire to be accepted or included or a part of. I think that they see their friends doing it, so they want to do it. I would put it more like peer pressure, but like indirect peer pressure. Sir. Okay.
I'm really not understanding the point of, okay, so my oldest daughter, I have 2 kids. I have a 10-year-old, almost 11. She'll be 11 this month.
Ew. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. What did you get to?
Go to bed.
Go to bed. Good night.
Like, what? But my oldest, last year she decided that she wanted an Instagram page. She has 2 pictures up there, and I found out about it, and I shut it down. And when I say I found out about it, she asked my dad if she could have one. And my dad don't know nothing about Instagram, so he was like, sure. Right.
You want an Insta book?
This is how crazy my daughter is. Not only did my daughter have an Instagram page, and it was like, she had them old folk pictures. Like, I think her photo was down here, and then it was like, but she had the whole government up there. First, middle, and last name. I'm like, what are you doing?
She wants you to know who she is. I am my mother's child.
Doing? Like, first, middle, and last? Like, no, you don't do that. So, she got off Instagram. That didn't go far. But I do allow her to have one social media website, and that is TikTok. And TikTok it used to be called Musical.ly. You probably heard of Musical.ly.
Heard of Musical.ly. Yes.
So,
that's the one with me. Everybody was doing like the
Soulja Boy?
What was it? No, the dance. What was the dance thing? The
That'd be something Soulja Boy created.
So basically, with Musical.ly, you get to like ad lib on top of music and other people's stuff already. So you could do like a little 30-second
like
clip,
vignette. Yeah.
Little
Is that
video.
social media though?
It is.
Oh,
it is
can
because
you
have followers,
you have friends and followers,
friends, and people like
and
this
people
stuff.
comment, yeah.
And so, but I track that page. But it's just really like her and all her friends, and they just kind of do like, "Hi, I'm Stacy." Huh? Stacy? What? Who? And then she does a little thing. So she's really kind of learning how to do what you do with your computer. Yeah, so she cuts and pastes and she puts stuff together, and it'll look like she's talking to herself, or she'll kind of zoom. So like, I like it for that aspect, but I monitor it, and it's really just her and all her little corny girlfriends.
Who needs her to edit the podcast?
Hey, she probably could do it though. Like,
she's
really been.
But that's the thing. I think that the kids now are gravitating to whatever the other kids are gravitating to. Like,
however, hold on. Last year, a young lady, 10 years old, she actually reminded me of my oldest daughter. They kind of looked like she killed herself. That same app, Musical.ly, they might have changed the name based upon that. Because when they interviewed the parents, it was called Musical.ly. And the 10-year-old got into a fight, and the fight was recorded and then put to music and shared. And the little girl was just very embarrassed. People were always talking about it, making fun of her, and she killed herself.
Wow.
This happened in...
She was the victim in the video, I presume?
Mm-hmm. That was her parents said that was her first fight. And they showed like I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 second clip of the fight, and she absolutely was losing.
And that was all it took.
Right, and so it was just from it being shared multiple times and talked. She was 10. She hung herself.
So I think that goes to the
How do you know how to hang yourself when you're 10?
how do you know how to hang yourself when you're 10?
Internet.
Hey,
So
I gotta
rest in
stop
peace to
sharing
that.
everything.
To that
Everything to be
baby.
shared.
Everything is not to be shared. Everything is not to be recorded.
My heart really
Everything
went out
is
to her.
not
Let me ask
to
a question.
be.
Because the thing about it is, with a lot of these kids, like, yes, the internet is forever, but what you're going through, it's not.
It's not. It's
That's
not.
the-
I
that's
need to
the
be able
thing.
to move past it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna bring up everything
Yeah.
that I've ever done or every time, or bring up my worst moment when I'm trying to be in my best place,
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah.
Which goes to the discretion of, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm one of those people that sometimes, in the moment, I might record something on film, so I'll take a picture. But I use my discretion in what needs to be shared,
Right.
how much of it needs to be shared, and why, if at all, it should be shared, or why it should not be shared.
Mm-hmm.
For reasons like that. It's just, but the kids now don't seem to have the same kind of discretion. Everything
They're
has
looking for
everything
that
has a humor
popularity,
content
yes.
or a viral specific content, something that'll get the video moving. You want you want people to share it because you want to be known. You want to be the person that shared that video, the person who was there. It's just
So, one thing I actually agree with. How old is your daughter again? She's 10. She's 10. So, I'm gonna ask you this question. I agree with what you did, but I just want you to tell these fools out there that why
why you need to limit their access.
No. Yeah, why your young kids shouldn't have IG, Facebook, and all that. So why did you shut down her?
I just felt like Instagram, even if she wasn't sharing a lot of foolishness,
Other people are.
Other people are.
Absolutely.
And I have seen some really brutal shit on Instagram. Like, I've seen very brutal fights. I've seen, when the older man was killed online last year.
Yeah.
That was being circulated.
You wanted to shield her. You wanted to
and
protect her from the things that she doesn't need to learn about in that way.
Right. And so I didn't think that she, and obviously I can't monitor her all the time. However, my daughter doesn't have a phone. The computer that we do have is upstairs. Everybody sees it. You know what I mean?
It's the house computer.
It's the
Everybody
house
has
computer,
access.
the house laptop. Yeah. So it's just kind of one of those, and they can't have access to any electronics during the week. Because that's school. So they can't watch TV during the week. They can't have.
Whoa.
Say something. Say, because I'm ready. Say something.
What they need to watch when they need to be focusing on 4+4.
What they need to watch.
I ain't got no kids, but I don't agree with that one.
It's an idiot box. Ain't no little.
Well, get rid of cable.
Well, they don't have cable in their room. They have
get rid of cable. Period.
Apple TV.
I trust you. They ain't gonna watch it without cable.
They have the
Apple TV.
Yeah. No,
So yeah, I think so.
But it was, but
She run a prison
that
over
was,
there.
No, get out of here. They got enough work. They got enough work.
And it's enough happening in real life to not need to worry about what's happening on television, what's happening on social media.
Track, and it really doesn't bother them anymore. Actually, she prefers to kind of talk and chit chat with her girlfriends through TikTok over the weekend when she does have access to a phone. My husband's work phone.
Okay.
And then that's it. So, but no, like she doesn't need to, I don't think that that's necessary. I know that eventually in a few years, now that she'll be turning 11 this month, we'll be having.
You got to like 12.
She asked,
you don't get past 12.
She asked. Now here's the thing. For Christmas, she asked for a, what is it called? Is it an Xbox?
Oh yeah, she need an Xbox X.
She asked for one, but I'm like,
For what? For what?
Why
you get that from?
$50
Game system.
Game system,
So
and
she
I
can
still gotta
access
remind you to
Netflix.
clean your room. Like, nope.
So we're talking about earning luxuries as opposed to just being given them.
Why am I against
Because you don't want to buy it, or
that too?
Okay, but you don't get nothing to do with it. You know how to play, right?
If she shows me that she can
maintain her grades,
and I just feel like a $350
game.
Game is just
X is 5.
Excessive.
even worse.
Plus you
I
need
mean,
controllers.
she's only
Yeah.
11.
Nintendo was like maybe 100. And that was
Right.
expensive
Let's start
at
off
the
with
time.
something handheld.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's start off with a Game Boy. They still make Game Boys.
Let's make sure you like to play games
Switch
before we
So
go
let's
buy
play a couple little games of Tetris and Pac-Man. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off there. And then if you like it, we can graduate. But she really has, because we don't have it in the house. My husband said he about to buy one, but because we don't have it in the house, it doesn't. She's
Play
not
games?
asking for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he plays video games.
You
But
ain't got no
like,
system yet? You hurry up, get with it.
All right, so
I in Wings World, that's my Xbox thing. Hit me up. 2K, Madden. Yeah, I play everything. I'm a gamer. And I'm 40.
all right, so
how important? Moving right along. How important are likes, friends, and followers?
Oh, it's very important in today's society. People killing themselves over it.
you want to start, Shantae?
I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So
Okay,
go
let me
ahead.
jump out there.
Hey, what do they really mean? What do they really mean?
Validation.
So I think they
Supposed
interpret
to be.
to, I think they interpret to a false sense of approval from mostly strangers, depending on how your social medias are set up. So I'll use myself as an example. My Facebook is private, if you will. It's limited to who I approve to be my friends. My Instagram, on the other hand, is public.
Yeah.
So I'll, again, use myself as an example. I'll be transparent. I opened my page.
Yeah, mine.
I had a private page. I had a private page initially,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have an open page because I learned that the way the algorithms work, you don't get seen. And I mean, your Instagram is not to. I mean, it's to be seen. It's what it is. You post pictures because you want people to see them
Yeah.
and like them.
Yeah.
Primarily your friends, sure, but because of the way the algorithms work, your friends may not even see your pictures when you post them. So, with that information in mind, I opened my page, which changed the dynamics and the way in which I get likes, I get friends, and whatever. Well, friends and followers, whatever. So, I say that to say that the numbers increase. And they can, if you don't have any personal esteem, if your self-esteem is not at the right level, you can take that information, those likes, and it'll take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
You'll misinterpret what the likes mean,
Right.
or what they're there for, as opposed to. So it's like a prime example. It's a very interesting dynamic that I can't figure out. I'll post a picture that I think is like my super sexy picture, right? Like, say, my birthday pic that I think should get this large number of likes. And then I'll post a regular headshot at work on a Tuesday, right? And somehow that headshot picture will get more likes than what I thought
was hot fire.
Was the hot fire picture, right?
Yeah.
So for me, that balanced out why those likes don't necessarily, like, you can't interpret those likes as anything other than people hitting like, or the algorithms working in your favor, because it's there's more going on than you can see based on what you're posting. At least as far as Instagram.
I looked at the pictures that I posted when I first got on Instagram, and the likes that I received.
Listen, I'm just saying. I went from 30 to like 270. I'm like, hey!
I went from like 2. I went from like 2. I mean, I don't have a lot of my likes.
Exactly.
Likes.
Why do we care about Becky and Idaho liking her?
And that's what's so funny.
But I'll take it.
And listen, and that's why it's funny, because I don't know, because my page is public, so I don't know half the people liking pictures. I'm like, I don't even know how you found my picture, but then I realized it's probably because of the hashtags that I use.
Sometimes just to search, like when you go to searching,
or that
it'll have like different people's photos, because the algorithm track
because of what you like. They put stuff in your explore page,
right?
Absolutely.
So that week where I've been thinking about, okay, I think I'm gonna get some braids, and I started looking at braids. Now I'm noticing
Now everything on your timeline is
yes.
great. Yes.
And I used to have a private Instagram page, but then I found out that
it's ineffective that way.
Well, no. I found out that my daughter's father's girlfriend was
stalking.
She was looking.
Hey.
So since I'm cuter than her, I just wanted her to see. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about being cuter than her, but I am kidding about the
Somebody
joke
sent
that
me
I
this
made.
meme just recently on the topic. Side note, real quick. That was like.
I already know.
That was like
I already know Tashina and Satrina and Amy gonna get on me like, why you say that? Totally a
when
joke.
your new girlfriend looks better than your ex.
I was joking.
I don't get the
You going on child support?
I don't get the private.
Somebody sent me that
If
meme.
you gotta get on social media to put your page on private, why get on social media?
So here is the thing.
Two, as a tech guy, let me tell y'all something.
Ain't nothing private.
Yeah, I can
Nothing's
break
private.
that if you want to. Man,
Nothing's
send me all your
private.
private Jones so I can show you how to get
Nothing's
it.
private. I get that. And it's so funny because I had a friend who's in IT and he used to randomly say shit. But we were friends and then we weren't friends. And then I was like, all right, so he's going to do somebody else's page. But so to me, it's if outside of your job description requires you to be looking through people's pages, which most of y'all's job does not require because you don't work for the FBI, you're stalking. Okay? Chill, B. You're stalking.
Public service announcement.
If you want to tell me what I posted and you're not my friend on my Facebook page, then you're stalking my Facebook page. That's what it is. That's your business. You can do it. Just acknowledge that you're stalking. So all that to say, nothing's really private, but my Facebook page is more, it's about me having conversations and being able to have them mostly with people who either I've had conversations before or that I'm interested in having a dialogue with. Not necessarily the general public. That's why my page is what it is. However, like I say, my Instagram page is public, but that's because I don't communicate, if you will, with people. Like, you can post something, I'll like your comment, but I'm not really going to get into it.
I made my Facebook private just because I had a couple older family members that tried to chastise me about, some of the comments or whatever I would make. But also employers tend to
search. They look for it now.
Facebook.
That became my...
And so...
Short time after starting my page, I realized maybe I need to separate church from state.
Well, because people have different handles on Instagram that may or may not be tied to your actual name, I was like, well... I'll just go ahead and make that public.
Absolutely.
But my Facebook page is private.
Mine has always been my Facebook has always been and oddly enough, when I first opened my Facebook, I did use my government name. I want to say it lasted for like 4.5 days. It was very quick before I was like, nope, we're not going to do that. Because I think I went into it with the public open perception initially, and then I realized that I could limit who had access, and it was like, oh, okay, so anybody that I let in here knows who I am, or I'm willing to let know who I am, so they don't need to see that.
Right.
But
I think to answer the question, I think as quiet as this kept, people do like the likes. They like the attention, because it's basically attention and validation that someone has seen.
I like them if they get equal money. They ain't getting money. I don't care.
Daddy Warbucks.
But hey, so here's the thing, because now it's turned into that. Initially, that wasn't what it was.
Right.
So it was. I think initially it was more about.
But some of y'all ain't making no money off it.
Initially, it was just more about attention, like you're knowing people seeing whatever it is that you're doing.
If I go through the notion of taking 32 selfies to find the one to upload.
Yes. Ladies can get an amen on a perfect selfie.
Here's the flip side to it. Are they that important when we paying for them, man?
Apparently they are. Apparently they are.
If you know you paid for them, you know you ain't getting real likes. Like, what is it?
But you pay for the likes to get you the money on the other end.
I understand if you're in the music business or
I'm not saying I'm here for it. I'm just saying
IG model.
if it works.
Would you rather people paying for it? Because you want to have 10,000, 20,000 followers. It's crazy.
So what you're saying is everybody's followers is paid for. That's what you're saying.
Not everybody, but there's a lot of people.
A lot of them. Oh, okay.
Dang.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I be sitting watching my alerts pop up.
It's like you
new follower. You
got 20,000 followers with
from
3 comments. Ain't adding up. Or 50 likes. Ain't adding up. I ain't even 10%.
So my 1,900 followers and my 37 comments don't add up. Is that what you're saying? I ain't paid for them. I promise. I did not.
In the street.
Listen. I'm just as amazed as anybody else. Like
what determines like what goes viral or not? Like I've always been very baffled at like what what falls in the category.
World star.
So viral, I think, comes from trending, and trending comes from repeated.
Everything negative. All right, FYO, we back, and we're gonna wrap up this topic on social media. We might have to come back later down the line for part 2 because I still about a whole bunch.
It's
a lot of shit. But here's my final question: when it comes to relationships, is it an obligation to put your status on social media? How do y'all feel
relationship status?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so funny because I put up a post the other day. I was like, so if I change my relationship status, is this shit Facebook gonna announce it?
You see, she didn't do it though.
To the whole.
Right.
Ain't nothing. Listen, when it happens, did it happen? Whatever. It's not. I don't think Facebook is a specific indication of anything. You can put whatever on Facebook. So me changing my relationship status.
So why not? Why not put it up?
I have a friend who recently got
relationship. What's with your hiding?
I have a friend who recently got married, and he was telling me. Well, he asked my opinion because he was like, I'm trying to figure out why my wife is having such a big problem with the fact that I have not
changed his status
to married.
Oh, married. That's a must. That's a must.
Yeah, I think my thing is I want to say I don't know.
You never take the ring when you can't change.
I don't know exactly where I sit. Like I feel like your social media should be an indication of your actual life. However, we know that people don't move on social media.
In fact, we merged have joint social media.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
And
so
that.
Yeah, no.
We'll holler at y'all next week.
So right, we out. But as somebody who has been single for a very long time and has never friended anyone that I was even talking to, the idea of friending the person I'm in a relationship with, unless it happens in a way where we were already friends because we weren't.
Oh, hold up, y'all ain't friends with
me?
Suddenly, that's a
who? Wait, who?
You, who you?
You're not talking about me.
You just said.
No, what I said was I've never friended anybody that I was talking to. So if anybody I was talking to became something more than somebody I was talking to, they would already not be my friend. So it would require a specific effort to go and make them my friend.
You wouldn't want to be friends with them?
It's not that I wouldn't want to, is that I already haven't been. So to make that move would be like,
are you friends with significant other?
Who's has a significant? I'm saying,
listen,
who's significant other?
You don't say.
I post for conversational efforts. I post to spark conversation. That's what I do.
Make sure to.
So is there a problem
all your unsolicited dick pics straight to her and
don't send me shit. No, I ain't single no more. Abort. I'm not single no more. We gonna go with that.
So
I'm not single no more.
Hypothetically speaking.
Okay.
Using a relationship, you want to see no issue with 1, y'all being friends, and 2, him changing status.
So not having, I don't know. I can't absolutely say. I sit in a position where I don't think it's necessary to be social media friends, because to me, being social media friends also comes with the expectation of tagging and sharing, and like certain conversations should be automatically inclusive of certain parties, or or certain references have to automatically be mentioned or be made clear, and I don't think that that's necessary for a healthy relationship.
It's definitely not necessary for a healthy one. No,
It's necessary.
But I also don't think it's necessary to maintain that so that it proves a relationship status or healthiness or.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
It's not proving nothing. It's painting
But everything,
a boundary.
But quote unquote, everything about social media is proving something.
What
Right?
if the guy that you're dating? What if that was important to him?
I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
I think that I'm open to the idea of if it's something that he wants, if it's something for him, if it's what he needs or wants.
Not the camera.
If it's something that he finds necessary, I mean, obviously starting with a conversation, like why do you feel it's necessary, and also what his expectations are of that. I find that people are in relationships and they have that social media connection, that one party or both have this requirement of acknowledgement of the other on a consistent level.
I don't think so.
That's what I find, and it could be an unexpected, or it can be an unspoken expectancy, but it's there are people who I'm friends with on Facebook who find it necessary or find it could just be a willingness, whatever. To me, it's the same thing, I guess, to tag their significant other on every post.
Every post I do.
It's like,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
so I ain't been talking about what I've been doing, but this is what I've been doing. I've been in the gym, blah, 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 blah. And they tag their significant other. Well, they was probably there for the last 30 days. So you didn't really need to tag. And they're your friends, so they're going to see the post.
Yeah, that's insecurity.
Anyway.
That's
I don't
insecurity.
That person cheating. That person cheating.
I don't need you to tag me every time you post.
The person tagging the person is cheating.
I don't need my every move to be on your wall and your every move to be on my wall because you tagged me. So
this is true. Now, I agree with that.
So I think that because I see so much of
you
that,
know,
it has
but
biased
you do know
me
that
to.
you can be in a relationship with a significant other,
And absolutely, but I
Yeah.
think that I think that seeing that so much has biased me against that on Facebook just because.
Friends, I'm gonna go through my
I'm
friends.
just saying.
And I'm gonna see
I enjoy.
who y'all insecure
I think joint
hoes
accounts.
with.
And I think I partially.
Join it. Can you go?
I think I partially like the not the actual anonymity, but the partial anonymity of not being friends with them. So I can get home and be like, hey, I posted this shit today. Look what these folks saw. Look how they responded. As opposed to, if I decide to bring that up, as opposed to
Oh, we ain't friends. We ain't talking
them
about
already
social media.
knowing. But that's what I'm saying. It's not. But depending on what the responses were, they sometimes provoke conversation that you want to share. That's what I'm saying. Not necessarily because it's social media,
You just making them create
but just because
dummy page
it's something
to follow
that came up. It'd be like, because for me, the conversations that you have on Facebook are the same as having a conversation or whatever. Like I can have a conversation at work. So I might go home and be like, look at what this, oh my God, I've had the conversation there and this is what they said. So if it happens on Facebook, it's the same thing. It's just me sharing a conversation that I had that they weren't privy to, whether it was online or not.
Okay.
I don't agree with none of that. I believe the way said, you gotta change. It's funny because it was just what they call that shit on TV? The letter they do.
Oh, strawberry letter?
Strawberry letter.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the topic. So this girl was in a
I love the
relationship
strawberry letter.
with a dude, and the dude had another girl. They just friends in the Facebook group, and they was friends, and she kept hitting them. It
was today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm using the girl.
for clarity, I was going to say it was very vague in the sex of
dudes.
the parties, but they believed it was guys.
It was guys.
Like the person who wrote in was like my partner, and they're having conversations with this third party. It was always my partner. It was never he or she anywhere in the conversation, which led.
But the person in the relationship told him or told her, to whoever, that I had a problem with y'all.
Right.
And
it was like, I don't like it.
Not only
they had all met through this same group.
Not only did the other partner say, you tripping, ain't nothing going on, but
continue to
I'm going to see him
go
next
forward
I'm going to see him
there's a group event next weekend
yeah.
and I'm going, and they're going to be there.
Oh wow.
So I don't care that you don't want me to talk to them. I'm going to meet them. I don't care about that either.
Well then you just.
And they was like, "How should I
that
move?"
person gone about their business. That's all that is. That's all that is.
Shout out to Steve Harvey, the Strawberry Letters. Thank you.
Fake as hell.
Oh my gosh!
Fake as hell. Entertaining.
Some of them I be like,
Yeah, I can ride on there. We're gonna give you,
But
we gonna give you the real.
we gon' you want our commentary on your
We're
situation.
gonna call it the orange letter.
Great advice. I give great advice.
The orange letter. We call it
She
the orange
does.
letter.
She does.
Give great advice.
Joint accounts.
But yeah, so as far as our social media, we'll have to revisit this again. I think that it's a lot to cover. Hopefully, we'll get some feedback.
We might do this live in the spring with some guests.
Guests.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that we'll definitely be back to talk about social media and
Some additional facets of it.
double-edged sword. The pros and the cons.
You gotta check around here.
Right.
Get up and
All right. So what's okay?
So now it's time for hot shit.
the hot shit.
A lot of shit going on in the media.
Woo! So fire.
Jesse lunching.
Sir.
Monique and Steve lunching.
Woo!
Tamar lunching.
Mm.
Well, I have some things to say about the Tamar.
So, we gonna start there?
We can start there.
We can start there.
So just so that
in case you've been under a rock.
Tamar wasn't
so apparently Tamar
shelter.
Tamar want to be a millennial.
Everybody sleeping under a bed. Somebody sleeping.
You good at join her and go to bed, okay?
Did I just start dancing?
I stopped. So she's dating now.
She's dating. About 6 months.
6 months. And
Shared on, she's on the new season of Celebrity Big Brother.
that her son, Logan, which is
5 years old.
Which has
he's
got me
5.
curious already.
He's 5. What?
Logan?
Because his name Logan?
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Sir.
This man with a nickname of Wing. Just one Wing. Talk about my name.
So Logan,
But
5 years old.
Logan, 5 years old,
Sleeps in the bed.
Sometimes,
Anytime.
sleeps in the bed
All the time.
with sleeps in the bed with Tamar and her
Dude.
Boyfriend of 6 months.
But we don't know her name.
And said that it's none of Vince's business. His name is, she calls him T'Challa as a play on T'Challa from Black Panther.
So he superhero.
She loves
He
him
must-
and
I
all
guess
his
it's
roles
big and black and
for this
cut up, I
divorce
guess.
and separation, so she can mess me with that.
So, conversation.
Okay.
You're divorced, new boyfriend, 5-year-old son. He's in bed with you and your boyfriend?
What's really going on in that bed?
Okay, so this question was asked early in the week in this group that I'm in, and what I said was, it's not that I find anything wrong with it, or not wrong with it, wrong with it or not wrong with it. Where my mind immediately went was that, now, I don't know, did she go into detail of like where he was sleeping? Because I didn't see that part.
Well, she did say when that happens, Logan sleeps beside me.
Beside her.
Okay,
She's between.
And so
the
that's
two of
where
them.
my mind was. Okay,
Yes.
Logan is 5 years old.
So it's like Logan, Tamar, boyfriend.
Right, so that's where my mind went. Now, the group that the topic came up, people were going in, and I think first of all, they immediately made her boyfriend of 6 months a child molester.
He's a pedophile.
They made him a pedophile. I think that's so totally ridiculous. And everybody's just kind of imagine
Him
that
in
he
between
was
the two.
sandwiched in between
Absolutely.
these two adults, bucket naked, and everybody's just over there, you know what I'm saying, just laid up, you know what I'm saying, just some old sister wives type thing. And so for me, my mind, even like learning these details now, my mind didn't think that. What I thought was, okay, he's 5, and she's dating someone that is taking up his mother's attention. And so
he ain't here for it.
And he's not here for it. This man that is not his father is spending time with his mother at the house. For whatever reason, they just are homebodies, or they don't want to go out in the public, or
and
whatever.
I'm gonna be right here with him.
And instead of him, and in his 5-year-old mind, he would much rather have his mother all to himself by any means necessary. So even though he's probably been sleeping in his own room for X amount of years that he's been on Earth,
That boy got no
now that his mom is dating, he feels this need to have this extra attention from her to keep it away from this dude that is not his dad.
Because it's uncommon for a child to be like, somebody's trying to take my
somebody's
attention.
trying to take my mother, or somebody's
Right.
trying to take the attention of my mother. That's where my mind went. I am so baffled when how people
Make everything
quickly
sexual.
turned it into something sexual,
Mhm.
when because I am a mother, and my kids, like, if it's a storm or if they just have a bad dream, they will come into bed, but they don't crawl over me to get in between.
Right.
They lay
They just wanna
next
be-
to me.
Absolutely.
And so that's where my mind went. I didn't immediately think nasty or pedophile or sexual.
So then you think that it's okay?
It's nothing sexual going over there.
I don't know about the word okay, but I understand.
She done downgrade to apartment.
I understand it. Now, what I don't agree
She ain't got the
with,
boy no
what I
bed.
don't agree with,
Well,
and I think that was the issue. What I don't agree with is the fact that she's publicly speaking about how it's none of
his father's
business. Now,
she's hurt.
as far as I
Hurt
know,
people.
Vince hasn't said anything. So to that, I will say, if somebody, like if a reporter or somebody asked him, or even comments made in social media, somebody mentioned Vincent, I think that the best thing that she should have did was just not even commented. I think by saying, like, he don't need to be in my business, it made the situation combative, and it made her seem crazy, and that his father's opinion
didn't matter.
And here's the thing. Now, I am very much an advocate of what goes on in your house, is, especially
Your
being
business.
together, is your business, and what goes on in my house is my business. I'm definitely an advocate for that. But I think because there's a possibility that Vincent never said anything, he never made any comment, I think that when anybody made comments about Vincent, or if she was asked specifically about how he felt, I think that she should have just been like, I'm not going to answer that.
So
that's
for clarity, I don't think, based on what I read, he hasn't been asked anything, or at least at this point it has not been reported that he's been asked anything. But she was on, because again, she's on the new season of Celebrity Big Brother. She was having a conversation with Candy.
Whatever that is.
She was having a conversation with Candy, and that's when it was mentioned. And when she mentioned that he slept in the bed with them, Candy asked or referenced Vince. And that's when she was like, it's none of his business. So she, as opposed to saying, which I guess may have been a better understanding, or a better response would have been, I don't know what he thinks.
Right.
Or
that
saying,
would have
I
been
can't
the better,
speak for him.
Yes, that would have been the better
But
response.
As opposed to saying,
right, I think it's saying that his
it's none of his business.
While
when
I
it
get what
pertains
she's,
to his son, is not.
And I get what she's saying by that. I just don't think that it is the best. It was the best response. I absolutely.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter's fathers, they don't get to talk about nothing that goes on in my house, and I don't say nothing about what's going on in their house. I just don't.
But you don't think that because it relates to the child that his opinion should at least be considered? Maybe it's like, to say it's not his business means that anything, it translates to me that anything that goes on in her house with him, he can't speak on. And I don't necessarily think that that's fair. I mean, I think that he should at least have there should be a conversation. Now, how you act, whether you move based on what he says.
So what's the conversation supposed to be about?
But to disagree means that a conversation was had. To say that it's not his business implies that there was never a conversation. That's what I'm saying.
But my issue with Tamar, was the next thing she said. I was cool with that.
What was the next thing she said?
Oh, you think the next thing she said? The next thing is Heifer said. She said she don't date black men who date black women. We got a black man. How does that work out?
Wait.
So she wants to be any black man that she dates first black woman?
Yes.
She didn't say that.
She did.
Bring the receipt.
Okay.
What kind of sense is that?
Listen, I'm not about to get into.
He's really looking for the receipt.
I'm not about to get into Tamar's mind frame because I believe when people show you who they are, you should believe them. And she has shown me that
Tamar
she
is
be
so-
all over the place.
She does. I don't really like.
And that she might in the moment say something that she thinks makes perfect sense and thinks is right in the moment. And then later, even if she realizes it wasn't the right thing to say, will try to make it okay.
Yeah,
that
that's
she
the thing.
said
I can't really say that I like about Tamar. I prefer Tamar Braxton. We're looking on.
Somebody's blown.
Oh, in media takeout.
Oh, what? We
Tamar
leaving
Braxton
MPO
says,
now?
I prefer black men who don't date black women. Has she seen herself on TV? Like, why would you want the representation of black women
To be you.
Like, what? No. That has to be taken out of context.
You're the. I don't say I want to hate to say it, but it's one of those statements that you're like. It's one of those statements that you're like. It makes you say you're the black woman that sends black men to white women.
It goes her exactly her actual quote.
Click on it. Hold on, we'll do that.
Oh.
I met Chinchilla, and now it's a wrap again. He didn't date black women, which is crazy. He did not date black women. It's like, I'm attracted to men who don't like black women. Vince Neely. Remember that. Vince Neely. All white girls are others.
Okay. Was she saying that that's what she prefers, or is she saying
that's been a result of her experience?
That's been a result.
That's a result of her experiences.
That's what she prefers.
That's a result of her experiences.
That's what I took it.
And
of course.
I don't want to say it worked in her favor because she's divorced.
She ain't break up with him, did she?
Who, Vince?
Either one of them. She's still dating this nigga too.
I mean,
that's your problem. That's your problem. You got a real black man that dealt with her.
Say it again.
I never really trusted that relationship.
Her and Vince?
I did.
Either.
Yeah, that's her problem.
I did.
She dealt with a black man that dealt with black women.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are in arranged marriage.
Ah!
Tamar and Vince
we are not doing that.
Never really in love.
Abort.
And
all right. Nope. All right. Tamar. So, hot shit. Next topic.
B. Smith, whoever that is. Bruce Smith?
Sir.
Go to bed. Drink something. Explain who B. Smith is.
I don't know a lot. B. Smith is, I guess, the proper term currently would be an entrepreneur, but she's a former model. She was a chef or lifestyle something, but had a fairly popular name, fairly great following. She was known in her industry. And recently, about 4 years ago, I think 2015, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
It was 2012.
Was it older? Okay. And she's married, been married a long time. So what recently hit the news this week is that her husband of 30-something years, I think, came out to say that he's taking care of his wife while having moved his girlfriend into their home, or their home.
Okay, has she moved into the home where she's just helping
the story
as a caregiver?
She lives in the home.
The daughter that the husband had from a previous relationship has moved into the home. I don't think that the girlfriend.
I agree that the girlfriend moved
What difference does it make? B. Smith don't know what the hell going on. So
because that's what made the controversy that the
You know she
girlfriend
married.
lives in the
I don't know
house
who these people
because
are.
they're posting. Don't
I don't see what the big deal
Don't
is.
slide.
I don't see what the big deal is.
So the controversy is that he and his girlfriend, whether she lives in a home or not, are collectively taking care of his wife. And it's an issue because B. Smith is a black woman. Mr. Gadsby, is now with a white woman, which carries its own connotations and reasons for.
Well, that's what. Let me get up off the floor. While Wing ain't talking, that's what the husband thinks is the reason why people are having such an issue with the fact that he's moved on. Is the fact that she's
a white woman.
I was about to say pink because I usually call her pink.
She's white.
She's a white woman.
She's a white woman
Who's been quoted as saying that when they met, she didn't want to get involved with the married man.
But to me, the issue is
to me he is.
That's her.
To me, the issue is. Yes.
Abort.
To me, the issue is the issue that I had when I read the article is that this woman, I think her name is Leslie.
Sounds right.
This woman was friends with B. Smith
Prior.
Oh, so like they were all friends, and he said that the friendship that he had with Leslie started off platonic, and then it went from there. And Leslie was saying that, she confirmed that it started off platonic, but what attracted her to him, now check this out, y'all. What attracted her to him, what turned it from platonic to let me like it, and do you say stop, was how he took care
of his wife.
Now, you got to be two types of crazy to let that be your reasoning of being attracted to your friend's husband.
So you like that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a husband and decided
now
you wanted to hop on that thing.
She actually she comes to the home. I don't think she lives there, but
she lives there.
She comes to the home and she actually helps take care of B. Smith. Mm-hmm. So I just think that
you stopped right.
But I think that that's absolutely crazy in itself.
I think it's a very interesting arrangement.
I mean, I think just for the reason, listen, if you go and listen, dealing with to each his own. I've never had to deal with like someone close or even a grandparent having Alzheimer's.
Sure.
My grandmother did show signs of dementia.
Okay.
Is that different?
Yes.
Or is it like the early stages of it?
They're two separate diseases.
Okay. So
yeah.
she was showing like early signs of that. And so I just got like that little bit of glimpse in there. And it is a lot to deal with. But I think that I'm not saying that he can't move on with his life, because if his wife has been dealing with the effects of Alzheimer's anywhere between 2012 and 2014 to now, that is a long time to be by yourself, all in the name of
Jesus.
He's just gonna come back and throw Jesus in there. All right, so I think what we're gonna do is wrap this up because it's a lot. We could talk about this for a while, but I think
like Gadsby. All power to people. Keep your head up. Keep on moving.
Wait.
Now see.
Wait. You know what? She can't stop him from living.
On that note, I'm gonna give get a church finger on
Yeah,
that
you
one
my nigga.
because
You don't get no bigger.
can you get him? And then you go over here and sing. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I got nothing to do with
As
this.
inappropriate as he was in this moment, the song goes.
Yeah.
I'm not participating.
Yeah, keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Cut it.
Yeah.
No.
White, black, Chinese, Asian. Keep on moving.
No. But y'all,
So is that your tip for the week?
Yeah, that's my tip.
Keep on moving.
Keep on moving. No matter, don't let nobody,
My
stop y'all.
tip for the week is when
blind, dead, or deranged.
somebody get him a drink. My tip for the week is when you crazy as hell, go to bed. Okay, that's
Go to bed. Good night.
That's my tip for the week. I can't.
Yeah. I don't even know what I have this week. Just continue to press forward. I had a conversation this week about my recent accident, which was traumatic for me. So with that, I'll say that to be mindful of how every day is a gift, and be present in every day in your life, in your friend's life, in your whoever family. Make sure people know you care about them, and make that. Give people their flowers while they're here. A little bit somber. I didn't mean to go there, but
Yeah, you did.
I did. My bad. But that's like the positive in the bad. Like, you know, something traumatic happened, but I'm finding the joy in it.
Shout out to KC. Birthday tomorrow.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, it was this past week, so happy birthday.
Whenever it was. Enjoy your birthday. I know the party tomorrow. Enjoy your birthday.
Wait, whose birthday coming up?
My best friend's birthday.
No, that's it. Like of the three of us.
Oh, of the
I know
three
you
of
a
us?
June.
Not me.
Oh, my birthday coming up. Gemini. May 26th.
Crazy as hell.
Keep on moving. Don't stop.
Crazy as hell.
Is he first? What are you
No,
saying?
I'm March.
Damn, so you coming up.
March what?
I'm 19.
Damn.
My father the 21st.
Is it really? Hey, March babies are awesome. When's your birthday?
Mine is not since December. I
December
just had a
1st.
birthday.
Yeah.
Did you for
Yes.
real?
Just had a birthday.
She was Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Oh, y'all mean.
See, ma'am.
I'm almost.
You know what? We
So
out
before
on
I
that
go,
one.
before I go, I gotta give y'all some Drake news before I go. This 10 news.
Oh, Drake news.
So Drake going to McDonald's. He took the two girls.
10 grand a
10
piece.
grand. But now guess what? Now they saying another employee from McDonald's, Hayden, saying we're going to 100. Black people, we all got something wrong. If you ain't get the 10,000,
because we think
it's only 100.
so Drake tipped $100.
Yeah.
I would have taken either or.
I mean, I'm gonna take either or, but I promise Drake dropped at least $1 grand.
Exactly.
Are we
And-
supposed to tip people at McDonald's?
No, but
No.
I'm just saying, if he gonna go in there and do
So-
it, he ain't gonna BS
So
it.
that was some people think. I was reading online. It was like Drake got them people fired.
You
Let
a
me tell you
hater.
something. Let me
Only
tell
thing
you
I'm
Wait,
hating
they
on.
got fired?
Only thing I'm hating on is
They
that it
can't
didn't
take
happen
tips.
to
They
me.
did get tips, but
You can't accept
you
tips.
can't accept tips.
You can't accept
But guess
tips.
what? You know how long it take a McDonald's make 10 grand?
First
I'm
of
gonna take
all-
that 10 grand and find another job.
First of all, that's why you tell Drake.
You can flip burgers anyway.
Don't be telling everybody. Be
No, it
careful.
was a girl. It was a side. Can you imagine Drake walking to a McDonald's? One, then two, he
You're right, it
tipped.
definitely wasn't him because he was just being philanthropic, so he definitely didn't announce it. They did, but
Right.
so now you know going forward. That's the tip for the week. If somebody's nice to you, just accept the niceness. Don't blast them because if they wanted it to be known, they would have announced it themselves.
Right. More life. See y'all next week.
Bye.